And we are back with another episode of the MMMTG podcast. Back as always, it is me, Miles, and my associates.
I, Angel.
Friendly.
Angel, like iRobot.
He is
I would pay to see that one. And anyway, we are back for the MMMTG podcast season 2, episode 3, as we are titling it TBH, THB. I'm really glad I didn't mess that up the first time. I didn't want to re-record it. We do apologize for the long delay. We had some stuff come up. We actually did record an episode 3 of this podcast with our esteemed friend, Mr. Leo, wonderful associate. Unfortunately, there were some problems with the audio, so we have decided to re-record that, do another take of the same episode at a later date. But for right now, we want to go back to the mainly Magic content because Theros came out. We want to get on that before it gets too far away. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about Theros, the release. We're talking about our reactions, our experiences with the limited format, the cards that we like, what we want to speculate on, and different things like that. But before anything like that, we have to mention our companion meme page. We've got up to over 600 followers now, so we're pretty happy about that. It's pretty exciting. We're always glad to see people following along with our content and interacting with us. You can always find us there on MMMTG278, or you can also find some more content on @MTGMiles. We got some sweet deck lists, screenshots, pictures. We got a screenshot recently Mr. Angel has collected. If you want to, well, maybe we put it up on the screen. This excellent moment.
That was unintentional. That just happened. You know, sometimes the perfect moments aren't planned.
Hopefully, you guys are seeing this right now. It's absolutely excellent, irreplaceable MTG Arena memorable moment.
I will say though, sadly I did not win that.
Oh, you didn't win with the 69.
No, I was looking for a thing that would give a trample, but I proceeded not to draw it. There's like 3 in the deck. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So other than that, we would probably just want to get into the news. You guys ready?
Yes.
Boom, boom. Probably gives them a little bit of a intro music for that. We had it the past few times. But anyway, the first bit of news that we have on the docket is just that Theros came out. We talked about it for a second. We have, the Return of the Gods, or not all of them. We have Return of the Collector's Boosters, which, Angel, I think you've gotten quite a few of those, right?
I have decided that those are better than the regular boxes. I already saw it was going to be better. I mainly wanted to open them for those lands, because in each collector's booster pack, you get 2 full art lands.
Yeah, so that's another piece of news, because we are covering the whole of Theros. If you are not aware of the new set of Theros, has these crazy full art basic lands. We'll probably put some up on the screen now.
They're Pokemon cards.
They look a lot like Pokemon cards, but
pretty.
They're very pretty. They're very good cards, and the foils are absolutely excellent. I was lucky to get a few just from packs, but I imagine opening collector's boosters, you get some. You get all your decks will be super Pokemon out.
Pokemon. I need to do Pokemon theme. I'll figure it out. Maybe Pikachu. We'll see.
Little creatures, small creatures.
Yeah. No, you imagine Heliod is just Pikachu, and then you're using Walking Ballista as I don't know.
Anyway,
scrap it.
If you wanted a Pokemon deck,
anyway.
you just play a rat deck.
This is true.
Rattatas.
Exactly.
Just relentless rats. Relentless Rattatas. Anyway. Speaking of rats, what an excellent segue. Our next bit of the news is the most recent Secret Layers. So, forgive any faux pas. I don't remember if we talked about Secret Layers since the last time we recorded. Unfortunately, the Secret Layers are a brand new product that Wizards has come out. It is direct to consumer, skipping the local game store, which you could talk about that kind of controversy all you want. We're not discussing that right now. We're just talking about it's cool. Each one will have a different theme. They were dropping them one at a time for a certain period, a little window. They have a certain cost, which I don't recall at this moment, but I could put up on the screen. And they're just foil alternate arts of certain famous cards that fit the theme. There was one for literally just for the card Bitter Blossom. There was some for
there were Snowlands for Eldraine theme Snowlands, I think. But they weren't full art. They were like the basic lands, but they were all
in which one?
That's one of the secret layers they did.
It's just full arts lands, or sorry, just the snow lands.
They were just foil snow art lands, in the regular card frames.
Yeah.
They were. I did like some of the art, but it's like you wish it was full art instead of just regular lands. But I'm trying to think what else there was. I know there was the Boom Explosion kitties.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
There's a goblin one. But anyway, the one that's coming out now after that initial wave is the rat one, commemorating the year of the rat, the new Lunar New Year in the Chinese calendar. It's got a few new foil alternate arts of rat cards, including, I believe, one rat colony and a pack rat.
There's
Isn't it?
I think there's 4 of the there's 4 copies of the one you can have any number of.
The rat colony.
Yeah, you get 4 of those. There's pack rat.
Izoni? Not Izoni.
The rat gang, rat ninja.
Yeah,
Rat ninjas
that's
in
what I'm
there.
thinking. Ink eyes.
Ink eyes.
Ink eyes. I
There-
think so.
There's
I don't
some.
know
There was a,
anything about this stuff.
You know anything about rats, bro?
rats.
I'm alright.
Alright.
I'm alright, bro.
But
yeah.
I know you heard that they're doing 5 more already soon too.
I did not hear about that.
They're releasing 5 more.
Wow. So yeah, it's a new kind of product that they've been experimenting with ever since the Mythic Editions before, whereas they were selling Hasbro was Wizards. I think Wizards was selling on the Hasbro store.
Yeah.
Actual Magic products direct to consumers, which is it's debatable if people like that or not. You should always support your local game store if possible, but these products definitely are cool, and there's nothing wrong with buying stuff from Wizards of the Coast. They do supply us with the game, but I don't think I'm going to be getting any secret layers. None of them seem particularly super interesting to me.
Yeah, so it seems a little unnecessary per se.
Some people like it. It is weird, but if you want it, you can go get it. You can pick them up on I believe, the Hasbro store. I could throw a link up there if it's still there.
Yeah.
But they're time locked. So if you're hearing this later, you'll have to buy them secondhand if you want any of those cards.
Yeah, I hear it's there's a lot of people that just buy them and just flip them because it's free money. Apparently, you just double your money.
Yeah, because they're time locked. You can't.
Yeah. You only
Somebody
have,
sits there waiting, poking the refresh, trying to get it, and then nobody else gets it, so you just buy it on eBay the next day.
I think I got like 1 million ads when they were new for the Bitter Blossom one. I don't think I couldn't leave. I couldn't go onto Instagram and look at anything without seeing an ad
For Bitter Blossom?
for the Bitter Blossom one. I was like, why?
buy it now, buy 10.
I was
10
like, no
copies.
thanks, bro.
Of Bitter Blossom. Yeah, I think that one comes with Bitter Blossom, and then just tokens for Bitter Blossom.
Yeah.
Which is man, I don't know about that one. But anyway, without too much more on the secret layers, we're going to move on to the next bit of news, which is Unsanctioned. That is a new unset, but it's not coming in the traditional sense of a quote-unquote set. It is pretty much like a dual decks, right? There's 2 decks?
It's like that. It's one of those products they did where it has the 5 decks in it.
Oh.
So it's like
it's like a game. Those game nights.
Game night thing.
But it's
So the idea, it's an unset essentially. It's unset themed, and the idea is you would pick 2 colors and you put them together because I think they're each 30 card little decks, and you shuffle them together, and then that's your deck.
That is really cool. There's definitely some really funny and interesting cards that they made for it, and those new basic lands, we probably throw them up here now. Really cool looking full arts, or they've got an interesting border inside of them.
The way the reason why they're designed like that is because they wanted to incorporate all 3 designs of the previous one into 1 card. That's why they're like that.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely interesting, and there's some new mechanics, some returning mechanics, such as the I believe it's modify or.
I don't know.
I can't remember. They've got so many weird names for these mechanics. I'm not a scholar of the unsets.
I feel like it's modify.
Yeah, you augment. I think.
Augment.
Augment. You add something to make a card that looks like a.
There's augment, dice. There's dice themes.
Yeah.
Shark
So.
gun.
Huh?
Shark gun.
Shark gun.
Alex-
There's a clam gun.
Alexander
Clamilton.
Yes.
That is the one that people are talking about a lot. He's got a little clam gun. We'll put him up on the screen now. There is I believe a squirrel commander that it collects acorns.
Oh yeah.
There's like a squirrel commander of some kind. It's got like a pun in its name and a word is crossed out. We didn't really, prepare too much for the unsanctioned. We didn't plan to spend too much time on it.
Just you wait, silver bordered commander decks. Let's go.
They did that for a while, right? When
There's not. I don't think there's enough silver border cards where you can do like a good commander.
I mean,
deck.
they unbanned silver bordered cards for a small period of time.
Well, I'm saying just like pure silver bordered.
Just make entire one.
Entire silver bordered commander
Yeah,
deck. Maybe Brawl technically. Brawl would technically work.
What is that new one? Oathbreaker?
Oathbreaker.
Yeah, Oathbreaker. Is that 60 cards, right?
Yeah, it's 60 cards.
You
But
get
it's a planeswalker.
There's a new planeswalker. Bevy of Beevils.
Oh god.
Yeah. Bevy of Beevils. Everyone. So if you're playing that,
Bob?
right? It's the only. Yeah. It's the only planeswalker I think in silver bordered.
No, Urza.
Okay, so you can play Urza or you can play Bevy of Evils. And those are your Oathbreaker commanders. And that's it. It's an un-Oathbreaker. Fernley was already disappointed by this.
I think I just remembered.
Just the thought.
I think my favorite card that's being released besides Alexander Clemington is the Flavor Judge.
Oh, which one's that?
It's the one with like the rooster and the ref costume.
I feel like it'd just be a man with Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Well, if you can look at it later, I think it's pretty funny. You'll probably get a laugh if you see it.
Yeah, well, I'll throw everything up that we're mentioning on the screen so you guys can check it out. Us personally don't have the means to look at it right this second. First off, before anything else, is there any way where do you guys want to start? We can talk about the limited format, the cards themselves, what we would talk about for standard, maybe commander, or
I would say sealed, I guess, because that's where it all starts, kind of with pre-release.
yeah. So
6-pack sealed.
I did 3 seals for pre-release. How many did you do, Angel?
I did the one with you for Two-Headed Giant.
So you got 1 experience, got 3 experiences. Fernley, how many you got?
I'm not here.
Fernley is not here. Fernley indeed did not have a chance to head to the pre-release. I've done those, and I did quite a few ranked drafts as well online. So I have probably the most experience with this format. We did really well. For the pre-release, I got the first kit. I had a Thassa that was Constellation. I had man, it's so far away. How long ago was the pre-release? It was many moons ago. Many aeons ago. But I was using Thassa to blink the green and black creature that lets you get something back from your graveyard, and the blight breath cult that lets you kill something when it enters.
English.
And the blah blah blah. Well, I don't even know what is that English? Anyway, it was a pretty cool grindy deck. Definitely blue and black, and I was using green as a little splash. Blue and black are really solid colors to be in. From what I understand, black is pretty much one of the best colors. If you're stationed in black, you have some of the best removal and interaction. So that's pretty much where you want to be. Obviously, you don't have to. There are some really good strategies in other colors, but black and blue are very good. I find that combination really powerful. Tons of interaction, removal, powerful creatures, lots of recursion, things like that. The second pre-release, I got another Thassa, and I was using it with. I'm blanking right now. So it was a blue-black devotion deck. You had blue was for just Khalifi, but black was for Grey Merchant. So yeah, Thassa, Grey Merchant. You have another Blight Breath. You just enter the battlefield, zap them, enter the battlefield, kill thing. It's very versatile. Those colors definitely were really useful. And in the Two-Headed Giant, I was running, I believe, green-black with Pelucranos, and I was splashing red for Croxa. A little bit greedy on that one, but we had 2 copies of Erebos between the two of us, which is what I was running. And Angel, what was the deck you were playing?
I was doing blue-white auras, I remember. There was like 2 staggering insights, 2 or 3 transcendent envoys, and there's a bunch of aura pretty much the whole aura package you would see in sealed.
Yeah, Dreadful Apathy. So he was playing the blue-white, which is another strategy I wanted to mention in limited. Blue-white is really crazy. If you can get in that deck, that is super solid. If you can pick up more than 1 copy of Staggering Insight, maybe some Pilgrims, those are super solid colors.
Yeah, I think the deck I was running had 3 Pilgrims, and we had like 2 Dreadful Apathies. We had 2 Ichthyoposis. I can't pronounce the name. Ichthymorphosis. We had 2 of those. The insights and just a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, so if you could be in blue and white, or maybe black and blue, or even black and green, there's some grindy decks that you can go with Escape. Those are really solid color combinations to be in. You pretty much want to have black if you can, or blue at least, because that also has good interaction. Some of the good auras like Ichthymorphosis could help you out, and there's actually some decent counter spells. Like there's a 3-drop one that counters a creature or enchantment and then exiles it. That's very good. There's just a 4-mana just counterspell that lets you scry. So there's a lot of good play. Outside of that, from what I can see, I think green is fine. You really need to have the correct cards to make it work. It's probably a Constellation deck, hopefully with Eutropia. But other than that, I haven't seen it yet, but I assume there's a decent green Devotion deck because there's some good payoffs for that, like the uncommon, and I think there's a common that when it enters it buffs your guy for your Devotion to green, which is pretty good. But other than that, I think green is more of a pairing with something else. Also, with red is just totally, in my opinion, totally underwhelming. From what I've experienced, it's like I was playing against people who were playing red, and it was pretty easy to stop. There's lots of incidental life gain, good interaction, and tough bodies in other colors. There's just not much for red to do. There is strategies. There's aura decks, there's some aggro decks, there's actually is a good blue and red deck, but it's that's more of playing on your opponent's turn. So I think red and green are pretty much pairs in this set. They need to be with something else in order to be viable or exceptional. But on their own, it's like, who knows? I had what I thought was a great mono red deck, and now online on a ranked draft, it's just, you're playing the good stuff, you've got all the synergy, and it just doesn't quite get there. But I mean, time will tell. There's a lot more of this set to see. Is there any stuff that you've seen, Angel?
So far I've done like 2 drafts. One of them was 11 man. That did not go well because it was really hard to draft that. I did a 9-man, and pack 1, pick 1 was a Pelucranos.
So there you go.
And then pack 2, I was past Myers Grass, Final Death, Myers Grass.
All right.
And then some other people passed me some really good rares too. So I had this really.
I think you had Ephemia.
I had Ephemia. I had Woe Strider. I opened E2 Extinction.
That's good. That was in where we did the 2-headed giant. The deck that we had. We had 2. Was great. It had Pelucranos. It had
the 2 Ereboses.
It had 2 E2 Extinction.
2 E2 Extinction. 2 Erebos.
You had 2 Erebos in it. We had the 2 of the goat guys. Some amount of Myers Grasp, I think.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff. It was a pretty lucky pool, I think, but yeah, definitely Myers Grasp were really good. There's like Hateful Eidolon, I think, at uncommon or common. There's some interesting plays with
it's pretty
with
good. Yeah. Black. I know in standard it's trying to see some play with that.
I saw some people putting some lists up with like a black green like mid range using Hateful Eidolon with Dead Weight and Myers Grasp, and you're trying to like get some card draw.
I wouldn't try that in standard because you're relying on pretty much just hoping to get the Eidolons and hoping they would stick, and then playing the enchantments.
What was interesting is that like that was sort of like the bottom end of the deck, and the top end went trying to play the Dryad of Elysian Grove into land type stuff. Like you have the Dread Presence from M20. So like all your lands are now swamps, and then now you're just playing swamps and additional lands each turn, zapping stuff around. And you're doing that in the beginning with the auras and the Hateful Eidolon, and then moving into something else. It was interesting. I don't think it's gonna put up like crazy results or anything, but there's definitely people poking around in those kind of ideas and strategies.
Yeah. But anyway, so that draft with I basically had a black green deck, destroyed everyone. It was just so much removal. There's like 13 removal spells total, including all between spells and creatures, because Pelucranos is just insane.
He is very good. It's kind of that was another thing. We had the Nightmare Shepherd, which is also incidentally very good with Pelucranos because you don't have to pay the escape and get it back one more time. It's pretty good. Speaking of sealed, what we are holding in our hands right now is, if you're watching on our channel, I'm not sure the exact order this is going to come out, but if you're just checking out the podcast, you can also check out our other videos, including we're going to be, we opened up some pre-release packs, each one of us 3, and we each showed you what we opened, and then we made decks out of them. So we're going to maybe briefly talk about what we made and why, kind of the cards and ideas behind it. And you can then check out later the videos that we made where we're going to play each other with these decks. It's sort of like a little mini pre-release tournament, which I thought would be kind of cool. Angel, do you want to talk about yours first?
So my deck was just a white-blue deck.
So like a tempo or control or...
Mainly tempo control. Best thing was a Heliod. And then I'm just backing it up with lots of removal. Pretty much my only removal is just like Shadow this guy, so I'm just going to board wipe you.
Yeah, like 2 board wipes or whatever.
2 board wipes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, blue and white have, Staggering Insight is probably one of the best cards in those colors. But there's a lot of good flyers. Blue and white have decent removal, although white still feels like it's more of a secondary color to some of the, like maybe blue and black. There's some good flyers in both of those colors, but I don't know. Usually when I'm doing sealeds or drafts or whatever, I'll open up the packs, I'll look at what there is, and I might consider white, and then I'll end up being like, you know what? I think that's actually what I did with this deck right here. It's like I had some white cards that could have been what you consider the better ones, but I was like, you know what? I think the other colors are stronger. I'm going to lean more heavily on the other ones and cut the white cards. Fernie, what did you do with your pool?
Chonky boys. They're chonky enchantment boys. That's what we're doing.
The chonky enchantment boys.
Chonky enchantment boys. That's what we're doing. We got a Renata. We got Eutropia. We're just trying to get some of our guys to be some chonky boys. Basically, I'm gonna keep saying chonky with auras and stuff. A lot of my creatures are enchantment creatures. And at the tail end of it, we have Kiora Best the Sea Gods, so we're going to buff up our guys and hopefully be able to swing in with some.
Yeah, that's something I haven't seen too much of yet, but I assume that's something that's in the format, is the blue-green Eutropia style enchantments. Like, you have a lot of the green fight enchantments, and the blue has some good auras for maybe hitting the opponents, and Eutropia is just insane. So there's definitely some... that strategy is there. You could see it exists, but I haven't seen anybody pull it off yet. So I'm interested to see how you go with your teamer deck.
Chonky.
He's gonna go chonky.
Big chonkers, boyos.
Yeah, and my deck is a textbook Esper sealed. This format, blue and white are really strong colors. Blue and black really strong colors. Black and white really strong colors. And look at that, we got all 3 of them. This deck is definitely based in blue and black, which is, in my opinion, I think it's one of the stronger combinations you can have. So I've got the good cards like Omen of the Sea, Ichthyomorphosis, the Memory Drain Counterspell, Witness of Tomorrow is really good, Final Death, Drag to the Underworld, excellent removal. I'm naming cards so fast, and I know I'm going to be one editing this, and I'm like going to hate myself later. Eidolon of Philosophy, an overperformer for sure. Farika's Libation, you can do a lot of tricky stuff. We got Ashiok Nightmare Muse. Kind of like, why wouldn't you play that? And as well as Dream Trawler as the pre-release promo. So I think I'm going to be doing some heavy-hitting plays here coming up, unless Fernie just stomps over me with that stupid 4-mana enchantment. That thing, I was playing Blue-Back in the pre-release, and one of the only games that I got taken by a green deck was the one that had that. The person played it, I was like, it's like, okay, turn 4, we got this like 7/7, and this is not great. We have
commit crime.
Exactly, and then white we have Dreadful Apathy, 2 copies of it, and then just the Dream Trawler. So that is the white, black, and blue deck that I have. Yeah, so that's what we think, and that's what we're doing for Theros Beyond Death sealed limited draft, such and such. But moving on from that a little bit, I'd like to talk about constructed. Like, what do you think's going to happen with these cards? What are you planning to do, or what strategies you think are going to come up or have come up?
Well, first things first, these cards are all pretty cheap to pick up.
True. That is very true. I believe you said definitely it's influenced by the collector's booster and the premium. Lots of different kinds of premium cards are out there, just like Eldraine. So the actual cards from the set, if you're looking for any, except for I believe Uro is pretty high, like 25, 30, but any other cards or strategies you might be looking for, you can probably pick it up pretty cheap right now.
I think the most expensive rare is the Dryad of Illusion Grove.
Yeah, that one's like a commander card.
That one's like $7. I think that's the most expensive rare.
I think I got that as a pre-release promo. It's pretty good. It's a good card. You know, it makes all your stuff into different basic land types, which has some interesting interactions. It's also just like a exploration on a creature.
Yeah,
just
put it in Majolta, you know. Also works as an Orb somewhat.
Yeah, there you
go.
Cabal coffers love him.
Other than that, control decks are back somewhat because of Shadow of the Sky.
Blue-white is definitely one of the decks to beat. You got Teferi plus Shadow of the Sky. Instant speed Wrath of God. That sometimes, but if you have Narset, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's what we like to call Wombo combo. That's like.
That's what we like to call oppression.
That's oppression. And sometimes in the right deck and in the right build, you can be drawing a card yourself, and they're not drawing a card. Excellent. You got Planar Cleansing, which is another one that they were playing before. In the new set, are they playing too much else? I know they have just Brazen Borrower and Narset Teferi, the classic. Are they playing Thassa's Intervention?
I don't see them playing it at all. I know that there's some band decks on the side. I don't think there's any deck running that.
There's a cool band deck that I saw. Yeah. Uro plus Hushbringer.
Uro is just kind of all over the place, honestly.
Uro is insane, though. Uro is crazy.
Uro's seeing play in Pioneer and Modern right now.
Ooh.
I saw some Modern decks
running
Uro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a reason to consider speculating on Uros. He is definitely a super powerful card. That escape mechanic, just keep coming back and back. You get an extra card advantage. It's a 6/6. You gain life.
Yeah.
If that sees a lot of play in Modern, the right shell for it, I can see that being a long-term pretty good card. The Croxa, on the other hand, I think it's been generally underwhelming.
Croxa is also being seen play in Modern too, experimentally, which is weird.
I don't know. It's just every time I've seen it, it's just always like.
I mean, to be fair, it's like in Jund, the whole point is you want to get your opponent to no cards in hand with Lily. But I don't think it's seen play in Jund. I don't remember what deck it's actually seen play in.
In
Modern
4-color Croxa. I don't know. I wouldn't know what deck that would.
I did see a Pioneer deck though that was running Uro and Croxa. It was like 5-color Niv.
Oh, Niv is cool. Niv is going up for some reason. Is that the reason?
Yeah, 5-color Niv is like one of the top decks, but right now it's still fighting with that new deck in Pioneer, the Thassa's Oracle
combo. The Thassa's Oracle combo.
The Inverter of Truths, where you play exile your library, then Thassa's Oracle.
I remember when that card came out, it went up for a little bit because everyone was trying to play it with Hushbringer. You're like, yeah, we can stop it. Not Hushbringer, sorry. Hushman Griff, yeah, the other one. You're like, oh yeah, if we stop the ATB, now it's a 4-mana 6/6, yay. This combo is like, yeah, you just play it and you exile your library and then you like win. And it's pretty good. It's putting up a lot of results and that the card spiked quite a lot. It's worthless for years now.
I don't even know if I have one. I don't even know if I opened one actually.
I definitely know I've had them in the past, but
it's
not something you keep track of. I doubt it wasn't worth anything. It's probably in a box over there somewhere.
Secretly, you have like 10 that you opened.
Yeah, you'll see them in TCG soon. No, but I'm not gonna get to it before it goes down again. Unless if that's a deck to stay. You know, if everyone's gonna be playing Inverter, Thassa, Oracle forever, then hey.
I think it had like a 50% win rate right now.
50%.
50% win rate. It has one of the highest win rates. So it's pretty good. People are comparing it to like the new Splinter Twin because you just get all the counter spells, all the removal spells you need in blue-black.
Yeah, Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So it's like pretty much just like if you ever tap out against a deck, and if they have a combo already, then you're pretty much done.
They're like, bing bong.
Yeah.
Wow. Bing bong, you are gone.
Other than that, I know the Heliod is seeing play too, especially in Modern, where
Sorry.
Yeah. Helio's also seen playing Modern mainly because of the nice combo with Walking Ballista and Spike Feeder.
That's what I was saying. That was the combo that came out first from the set. The one that people figured out quickly, and then the Oracle and Inverter came out a little bit later, and it's definitely shaking the boat. I haven't seen too much of Heliod, but he's definitely there.
I saw one list in Modern, where it's the whole point of the deck is it runs like every creature combo that's in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you're running Coco to hit them.
So there you go. That makes sense to me. I think there was already a deck kind of like that, and I assume this one just kind of slots into it.
Yeah, so it slots in really well. So, for example, like you can get Infinite Life with Kitchen Finks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it runs Kitchen Finks, Spike Feeder, Walking Ballista. It's also in there. You have the Devoted Druid combo.
Yeah, I think it interacts with cards that already were in other combos. It makes the deck a lot more consistent. Is there any other decks or any other cards from the set that are actually making an impact in other formats, or is it mainly just standard right now?
I think standard. I can't think of anything. I think Agonizing Remorse is seen play now in Pioneer.
Oh.
Mainly because the rest isn't good enough against the Inverter combo. Because you can't
hit. There a similar card? Transgress the Mind? Or does that not hit the same?
Transgress the Mind, you CMC 4 or greater, and it exiles it. So you only can hit one of them.
Oh, and Agonizing Remorse, I think, also hits the graveyard, too.
Yeah, that's why, so...
That is, yeah.
So okay. So you can, you have the option.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Wow. Technical difficulties.
So you have the option of, I believe it exiles. It's basically a Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
For one more mana, one less life.
It's pretty good. It's not bad. The standard format is wildly changing as well, so it's kind of hard to talk about what cards are actually good or whatever. I'm currently playing like a Sultai ramp deck. I know there's a Simic ramp deck that's using Uro. I believe Team of Reclamation is back and it's putting up results. The blue-white deck, as we talked about. I don't think there's anything else super special. There's a mono blue deck, which is interesting. Using the Thassa's Oracle. I played again. When it goes off, it's pretty cool. But if you can interact with Nyx Lotus, then they pretty much can't do much.
Oh, I know there's a mono white deck that's actually pretty good. When it has the draw, it will go.
I saw that. I think there's an Ajani or something that's spiking because of that deck.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anyone playing it yet, so I can't speak on it too much.
I'd say it's a hit or miss most of the time. One of the other decks I've seen. Mainly the only reason I'm making it is because I just got into Arena after so long. Decided
Arena's great.
Yeah,
Arena's great. And when it first started, it had a lot of problems. Those problems, they're still there, but they're minimized. So like you'll run into a server error one in every 400 times you play or something. Before it used to be like half the time you were playing, the server was like, nah, bro. But now it's like you can pretty consistently like sit down, put in your gems and play some drafts or whatever, and you have a good time. And I think they've just improved the friend feature now, right? So you can actually play with people that you know.
I'll add you later.
Yeah. If anyone wants to add Angel, his username. Anyway.
Stop. But anyway,
I actually don't even know it.
Exactly. The deck I'm trying to build, though, because I pretty much have nothing in terms of the collection. Mm-hmm. I saw an interesting blue-white enchantment deck. Yeah. So I thought I'd be looking into that. It ran Treacherous Blessings, the 4-mana Pegasus.
Oh, that is a...
I did like that, and it's also running, I think, I believe, Ephemia.
It's a blue-black, or white-black. That was a deck, I was trying to remember what I saw. There was a really interesting deck that just came out. It's like Esper Enchantments with the new Birth of Meletis.
Birth of Meletis?
Yeah, and Doom Foretold is there, and Treacherous Blessing is there, so you're like sacking the Treacherous Blessing to the Doom Foretold and stuff, and then they're playing Dance the Mance. So you're playing these enchantments, and you're sacking them, and you're getting them, the opponent to sack stuff, and then you just like, boom, Dance the Mance, bunch of 4/4s, all these ETB effects. It was pretty cool. I'll try and put a list up right now that is definitely something that I thought was interesting. I'm finally getting a use for a card that seemed kind of silly, but now when you play in that deck, especially because Birth of Meletis or whatever ramps you a little bit, it's pretty good. I don't know. I played against it. I managed to beat it with because I was experimenting with my Sultai list, and I was running Tameo at the time, so they're trying to use Doom Foretold. It's like they're like, oh, sack or discard. No. So it's like sacrifice. No. So it triggers it to make the person discard, and then Tammy was like, no. So you just lose 2 life, and then they get their 2/2. That's it. Like, okay. But yeah, other than that, is there any other things about Theros that you guys want to talk about?
It's pretty.
Oh, elaborate.
I think he just likes to showcase.
Pretty foil. Pretty stars. Pretty lands. All
Yeah,
the cards are pretty.
He's just going about the showcase.
Okay.
Also, gods are back. The boys are back in town.
5-color God Tribals. Just you wait.
Exactly.
I don't like that they did that because this is the only set in Theros right now, because they're going to move directly onto Ikoria afterwards. We're not actually going to see all the gods this go around, so they'll have to go to Theros again if we want to see those. Unless, I guess maybe they could print some in supplemental products or something, but it's not as cool.
I don't know. I'm hoping, like I said, I think I mentioned this to you. I remember in the actual history for the Greek, they were invaded by the Romans.
Oh yeah, you said you want to.
So it's like I'm curious if they'll do it, because I know that the Phyrexians. Spoiler! I'm sorry. Spoiler! Cut it, bleep it. I don't know. Whatever you want. Anyway, so main story inside of Magic: The Gathering is that the Ashiok went up to Elspeth and got to see pretty much the Phyrexians because she was looking at her nightmares. Mm-hmm. So now that she knows, she's looking for him. So I'm wondering if she'll somehow lead them to Theros. So pretty much the Phyrexians would be essentially like the Romans. Because remember, too, when the Romans came and invaded Greece, they took their gods, essentially, but they changed them a bit. So if you can imagine...
Twisted gods with Phyrexian oil or whatever. That could be cool. That's definitely within Ashiok's MO to try and get people to be spooked.
It's like, hey, look!
All your gods are freaking messed up now.
It's a great Halloween set in the middle of December. God.
Well, I mean, whatever happens with that, it might not happen for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're going to Ikoria next, which is a new plane about giant monsters, and then after that, they're going to Zendikar.
Just you wait, King Kong's going to be the set.
We're going back to
Zendikar.
We're going to get a silverback gorilla, though.
Where?
A giant King Kong silverback gorilla in Ikoria.
I guess.
Where are behemoths?
This is what I was saying earlier. This could be kaijus.
There'll definitely be something along the lines of kaijus, but I'm not sure they'll call it that.
Well, I feel copyright reasons they can't call them that.
They were called them Chunky Boys.
Big chunky
boys.
There
might be chunky boys in this set. But is there anything else you guys want to talk about Theros, or?
I feel like they were caught lacking. Where are the packs with all foil gods? Where's that?
They can't do that all the time.
Why not?
They got Constellation and they got Collector's Boosters now. Plus, they're going to Zendikar soon. They might have something interesting for there.
They better.
Ooh, that's a threat. Watch out. Fernley's got your number, Wizards.
I can't buy a case if it's not good. I'm sorry.
Okay, see? Wow. That's a loyal customer with sales on the line, so...
My last input on this, I would say, is that I like the set. It's just the fact that the collector's packs just like tanked it because of how easy it is to get most of the cards. So it just hurt the market a lot. But I think all the prices are going to go up eventually in terms of price per se. But I do like everything in it.
So just pick up every copy of Eidolon of Philosophy foil, and you'll be a millionaire. Don't actually do that.
What I think is that these prices, like, they might suck for, like, at the beginning when you have all those cards and you're like, I want to get rid of this stuff. But, like, I feel like it's really great for new players just being able to get into the game at a reasonable price.
Yeah. There's some good options.
Because when we started out, Magic was, like, hard. It was hard to play mainly because of the price of making a deck.
True. Getting into Standard when we got in was during Cons block. So every deck if
like-
you're,
I
not,
heard
running,
it
if you're not
was-
running fetches, it's like
You're caught
you had-
severely lacking.
At some point after Battle for Zendikar came out, a lot of the standard decks were worth more than most modern decks.
I heard they're like the same price almost.
Yeah, it's like you're running the same mana base and you're running all these new cards and cards in standard. They're like $20-$30. Ugin was however much.
Jace.
Baby Jace.
Bryn's
Baby
Prodigy.
Jace, yeah.
Wow, that was an expensive time.
$70,
Yeah.
90, something like
Lost
that.
Mentor
It
was
was
expensive.
insane.
There's a lot.
Everything
of
had
expensive
a
cards.
big price tag, but
Yeah.
nowadays, there's some
It's
reasonable
nice.
stuff. The collector's booster is helping people because people like those kind of bougie, different kinds of cards, full arts, extended arts, foils, alternate stuff. But if someone wants to just pick up a deck, you can play the mono red aggro deck pretty cheaply. You can play this blue white tempo deck. You can play. There's a Knights deck, I think. And the Knights are not worth anything, I don't believe. Maybe Embercleave is a little bit, but
I think it's almost 16
for the whole deck.
for one Embercleave.
Jesus.
It's seen played as trios almost.
Damn.
We'll put something up, but yeah, definitely it's not. The barrier to entry is a lot lower than it used to be, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, I believe that is our talk on Theros. So if we want to head to the outro, I just want to say to everybody, thank you for watching and following along with us. We do apologize again for the hiatus. It happens to us. We do this podcast on our content. We don't get really anything out of it. We just really enjoy making content, and it's staying connected with the game and talking about it. It's something that's really fun for us, but it does take a little bit of coordination and effort and stuff like that. So please bear with us. We do appreciate everybody following along. We're going to have some interesting content soon. We've been putting some stuff up. We're going to have some more sealed content, and we're going to be doing some more openings. And hopefully when Ikoria comes out, we're going to be doing a lot more. But for right now, we're going to focus as much Theros stuff as we can get. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we go?
No, not really. Just thank
Have
you for
fun.
listening.
Just have fun, play the game.
Have fun, play the game. And with that, we will bid you good morning, good night, and good afternoon.
See ya.
Bye!